Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it. Welcome to The Local Show, and thank you for joining us. We just want you to know we appreciate you listening to us and watching us on YouTube, because that YouTube thing is really fun.
I see that YouTube folks can see the barbecue sauce you've pried really close to you. You're not going to let that. You're not going to let me steal that.
This battle test.
You know, I can see that's
what a theme today. We had this, and then we had Clear Path for Veterans. We're bringing in that brisket. I'd like to dump this on the brisket.
Yes, I'm not gonna. Hope my doctor doesn't see the show. She'll yell at me and say, "What are you doing?"
That's right. Well, this is all natural stuff too.
Sure it is, Tom.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, so Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. I heard something over the weekend. Somebody told me that they had a camp and they lost the camp to long-term care. And I said, boy, you got to talk to our friends.
Well, hey, right home. I mean, years ago, my mom and dad put the camp. The dad rebuilt up in Henderson Harbor, put it into a trust.
Very nice.
And that is safe from long-term care. Mom's 90 now. That is safe. No, we lost dad a few years ago. That is safe from long-term care. And it's protected, but that's true of the house. That's true of anything. People say, "Well, I got a will." All right, but if you haven't protected it, or maybe you should just look at the will. Safe Harbor Wills and Trust. That's all they do, and you can really.
And if you just have questions, right?
Yeah, you can go over to safeharborwillsandtrust.com, 370-9977. Start a conversation. You can call them, ask questions. They're not going to charge you to ask questions, but if you need something done, those folks can do it for you, Tom.
Excellent. Well, it's our pleasure to bring back on to the show Dr. Richard Malara. He's the owner of the owner.
It's easy for you to say, Tom.
Well, I have a typo on my sheet, and I have owner. So talk about reading. So owner of Malara Eyecare and Eye Spa. Now that name changed, Doctor, didn't it?
We adjusted it a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, and why is that?
Well, we're trying to reach an audience that is more. Everybody has issues with some form of dryness with their eyes.
Oh, yeah, and, especially this year.
You know, it's one of those things that a lot of people deal with, and one of the things that we are investing in is more technology that helps people overcome dryness. You know, dryness, you know, when we think about it, is a discomfort. And so when we think of a spa, we think of something that's very soothing, something that's very oriented towards making a person feel better when they leave, and that's what the technology is that we've invested in. It does for the dryness.
So how does that manifest? So how do I feel? I come to you and I do an eye spa thing and I leave. What changes?
Well, you're dealing with a chronic condition that is most likely something that gets worse during certain times of the year. So allergies, anything that disrupts the tear film is going to cause the eyes to feel less comfortable.
Is that dry eye?
Is that dry eye?
What's the technical term for it?
It's still dry eye.
Oh, so, I was waiting for some Latin term to come up.
In some circles, it's called meibomian gland dysfunction.
I was going to say
like that.
Yeah. So it's the thing that makes your eyes feel dry, scratchy, almost a little sandy or gritty. Maybe your eyes get a little bit red or irritated pretty quickly when you're sitting down at the computer. After you've been reading for a while, you're blinking less, your eyes get uncomfortable because the tear film's not being reproduced and refreshed on a regular basis. And so that disrupts the whole surface of the eye.
And you can take care of all that now over there.
Correct.
I was moments away from calling you several weeks ago because I had the worst sty of my life. And my doctor said, you got to go to an eye doctor. And I said, who do we know? Oh, Dr. Malara. And I almost came to you because it was so bad in the corner of my eye and so painful. What causes that? It came out of nowhere.
It is one of those meibomian glands that gets blocked and unable to allow its secretion into the tear film. So,
I see.
Yeah, a sty is the fancy name for that is either a hordeolum or a chalazion, depending on how long it's been there. So But yeah, heat. I don't know if they put you on an
we
antibiotic.
did finally an antibiotic, and it cleared up in a couple of days. But it was over a week that this thing hung on. It was
they
pretty
can
bad.
linger. They can be.
And it was painful. But so other than a sty or something like that, why do people come to see you and your practice?
Well, they're looking for comprehensive care. They're looking for someone who can not only provide an accurate thorough exam with an accurate prescription, but they're looking for someone who is genuinely interested in a long-term relationship, who wants someone who cares, who's committed to their eye health and all eye care for their whole family. So it's start to finish. Everything that we do is geared towards making sure that we're in it for the long haul and we're caring for the people in the community in a way that's meaningful to them, trying to meet the needs that are specific to their visit to us.
Now, there's some people that just can't wear contact lenses because I'm going to my youngest son, couldn't he get it in and he'd come out and he just, I don't know the whole thing. I don't know that he just didn't press through the pain or what, but are there some people that just doesn't work for?
It's pretty rare that some form of a contact lens can't be found. Oftentimes it's just making sure that the curvature matches the curvature of the eye, that the type of lens that's being put on is appropriate for the person who is wearing them. Different water contents, different sizes, different curvatures, all of that comes into play in properly fitting a contact lens.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so you do all kinds of glasses. What's the most popular glasses frame now? Like, is there a particular style?
Are they branded or is it more functional?
Yeah. Is it for function or for style?
It's for both. We cover the lines all the way from, value-oriented, high quality,
like Steve,
lower
yes,
cost,
value-oriented.
to, the name brands that are out there that, have a little bit more,
carry some weight, like
well, they're just geared towards people that want to wear a frame that has a name on it.
Right.
So there's all kinds of stuff out there, but the ones that are big in the industry are certainly ones that we hope to carry as well. And
right.
Like Oakley, Maui Jim.
Okay.
We've added some new lines that help us to reach out to more consumers who are looking for higher quality products,
right.
carry longer warranties. So,
do you still blow air into people's eyes? That whole thing, that I always hated. That I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, was that glaucoma or something else? What was that?
That's a test for glaucoma. That is correct. Pressure inside the eyes is undetected unless it's measured, and so one of the old measurements. Technically, you have to have at least 3 measurements with an air puff because the eye pressure has a pulse. And so there's a wave to it, and you don't want to catch 2 peaks and miss the trough. So
right.
You want to get an accurate average. We don't do air puffs anymore. There's newer technology, better technology that
well, there you go, Steve.
Doesn't require you to flinch when you jump out of the chair.
Right, yeah.
So really quickly, how many times a year should people get their eyes checked?
At a minimum once, more so if there's a family history of things like glaucoma, macular degeneration, and those sorts of
diabetes.
At least once a year. If it's controlled, if it's not controlled, then we see them more than once a year.
So you're in Fayetteville and you're in Liverpool, drmalara.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Excellent. Thank you, Doctor, very much. We appreciate all you do. All right, Steve, that's going to wrap things up. And it's a fishing weekend. Let's get out there, man. That's
Indeed.
Awesome.
I'm all in.
All right. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with a friend or family member. Keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 1069 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.